Hello once again, students. This is Dr. Mercado speaking. This lecture is for my Accounting 2401 Principles of Financial Accounting Summer 2022 class. Now, group project number 2 deals with International Financial Reporting Standards, IFRS, versus U.S. Generally Accepted Accounting Principles, GAAP. Okay. Now, this second group project is very similar in basically the layout than group project number 1. I'm going to go over the basics of the logistics of the project. Let me go ahead and get out of here and move over to Blackboard, which is where we have all of the assignment requirements. Now, for group project number 2, students are going to have once again 2 weeks to work on the project, week 7 and week number 8. Okay, make sure that you refer to your syllabus. In the syllabus, you will have all of the information. Okay, now make sure that you review all of the information provided for group project. I have included the deadlines. The group project is worth 100 points. And I have a whole bunch of videos that you can utilize in case you have questions about adding audio to a PowerPoint, APA formatting, stuff of that nature. I've included some videos. There's so many videos out there that you can utilize. This is just for your reference in case you're having any issues. Make sure you review the information. And let's jump into the actual requirements of the project. I will once again assign you to a group. I will make that information available to you. I will create the groups and I will post those groups as well. But the group project is structured in the very same manner as group project number 1. Students are assigned to groups. You all need to collaborate with each other, establish deadlines, make sure that you respond timely to your group members. If you don't respond timely, your group members can kick you out of the group, and then you're gonna, end up with a 0 for the assignment. Working alone on the group project is not an option, so make sure that you at the beginning when I assign the group project that you get in contact with your group members. Exchange contact information, your phone numbers, set deadlines, and continue to maintain communication with your group. How is everybody doing? When are we meeting? What are the deadlines for our sections? I need help, whatever the case might be. Okay. So you all can read all of this information. I am not going to bore you with that. If you have any questions, like I said, it's very similar to what we've already done. Please use the feedback that I provided for the first group project submission. If I give, I give feedback to the different groups. Use that feedback to try to improve for this second group project. Okay. So for this particular group project, the objective is to research and identify conceptual differences between international financial reporting standards and U.S. generally accepted accounting principles by developing a PowerPoint presentation. So, we need to research this topic. There is not a lot of information provided about IFRS and GAAP in the textbook, so you are going to have to go out there and find credible sources to be able to conduct the research. Okay, so the presentation needs to comply with the below requirements. Okay, the PowerPoint presentation needs to be between 13 to 15 slides of content. That excludes the cover page and the reference page. So you need to have 13 to 15 slides of information and then the cover page and the reference page. Notes, once again, need to be included between 150 to 250 words per slide. Okay, very important that you make sure that you meet this requirement and that each slide has notes included. Okay. If you included the information in the notes, it's because it was important information. Make sure that you, whenever you are delivering the presentation, you include that information verbally. Okay. All group members need to participate in researching, preparing the presentation, and delivering the presentation. I will not accept any presentations that are missing audio. So please make sure that each slide has audio, that the audio is clear, that when you record your audio, you're in a quiet place with minimal background noise. Okay. Make sure that whenever you are beginning to present your section, that you state your name. That way I know who is it that's speaking and who is presenting that specific slide. Okay. What else can I say about this? On the audio, make sure that you test your audio. I've had issues where students say that they added a file or an audio component, and then on my end, I really can't play it. So make sure that you save your file, you send it to each other, make sure that you review it to make sure that the audio is clear and that each of the slides has audio included. Okay. A title slide needs to be included, which includes the names of all of the group members that participated only. Do not include any group members' names that did not participate. On the title slide, only list the names of the students that participated. Those will be the group members that will be issued a grade. Okay? The title slide also needs to include audio. Make sure that you present the title of the presentation as well as introduce all of the group members that are participating. Okay? A reference page needs to be included, and all of the sources need to be organized alphabetically. In-text citations within the slide and the notes as well. If it's information that you obtain from a source, it needs to be cited. It needs to be paraphrased. Plagiarism will not be tolerated. If you have any issues or need any help or assistance with APA formatting or someone reviewing your work, we have a CLE lab and they have tutors there that will help you. Okay, so make sure that you set an appointment to go to the CLE lab. Okay. So the reference page needs to be included, and like I said, all of the sources organized alphabetically. If there are any duplicate sources, you delete them. And we are using APA format. And please make your presentation dynamic, include statistics, graphs, charts, or images that are going to entice the listener to stay active while you are presenting. Okay. Now, the components that you are going to be researching are as follows. Okay, you're going to provide a history or background of International Financial Reporting Standards, IFRS, and U.S. Generally Accepted Accounting Principles, Gaap. This can include, but is not limited to, an overview of why and when IFRS and Gaap were created, a timeline of their development, the decision-making process, etc. Okay. Letter B. A definition, an overview explaining IFRS and Gaap. This can include the purpose, the mission, the users, the structure, any relevant information that you feel the audience can benefit from. Now remember, when you are presenting this information, pretend that the audience has no knowledge about accounting, about International Financial Reporting Standards or Gaap. So try to be as basic with the information, but cover and explain it in detail. Okay. Now, letter C is super important. You have to identify and explain 5 significant differences between IFRS and Gaap. These differences should explain how IFRS and Gaap accounting practices or principles differ. If possible, include examples or scenarios to illustrate the differences. Okay, so let's say, for example, we have 2 different ways of how the balance sheet is set up or organized. Okay, you know what would benefit us? Okay, show me a balance sheet using IFRS and show me a balance sheet using Gaap, and then explain the differences amongst them. Okay, so use visual information to help get your point across. Okay. Do not include as a difference that one is rule-based and the other is principle-based. I do not want to see that. The 5 differences should be accounting differences. Things that are done in accounting that are different if you do use IFRS or Gaap. So do not include that one is rule-based and the other is principle-based. Do not use that Gaap is employed in the US and IFRS is international. Those 2 things should not be on your list of the 5 significant differences, okay? I want specific accounting practices and principles that are different between the 2, okay? You're going to provide 3 reasons to identify why IFRS has not been implemented in the United States. Please be detailed and include facts and statistics. Okay. Now, letter E. Does your group believe IFRS will be implemented in the United States in the near future? Why or why not? And support your reasoning with published data. So we have 5 requirements, very important, that need to be covered in this presentation. And hopefully this presentation will allow us to learn a little bit more about IFRS and Gaap. As a lot of companies internationally have to deal with using both methods of accounting. Okay. So the group project is worth 100 points. 90 points is coming from the presentation. 10 points is from the self and peer evaluation. I will provide students with the group distribution list. You are assigned a group, and that is the group that you're going to be working with. Make sure that you establish communication early on. That way you don't get kicked out of your group. If you get kicked out, you will not be placed in another group, and you will not have an option on working it alone. Okay? If you are kicked out because you failed to respond timely, then you will be earning a 0 on the assignment. Okay? So each group member needs to complete the self and peer evaluation to obtain the project points. You don't turn in the self and peer evaluation, you get a 0 for the entire assignment. It is not optional, it is required that you submit the self and peer evaluation. Okay? So every student will submit the self and peer evaluation, and then one student, you designate a group leader that is going to be responsible to submit the final presentation. Make sure that before you submit the final presentation, as a group, you have created a meeting time and you review each other's work. Okay. I've had students say, Miss, I don't know why other students need to review my work if I'm already an adult. Yes, you're an adult, but this is a group project. And the group project is graded based on the group's overall performance. Okay. And I've had students that half of the presentation is awesome, the other half does not meet any of the requirements, and they end up failing the assignment because overall they didn't meet all of the requirements. As a group, you want to earn the most points possible. So, just be courteous of each other, be respectful, and just, you know what, you're covering this requirement, but it quite does not meet what, it's stated. You don't meet the word count on your notes, or you have a lot of misspelled words. Help each other out. It's a group project. Collaborate. Make this the best project possible. Okay? Students are going to have weeks 7 and 8 to complete the project. 2 full weeks. So you have more than enough time to work on the project. The project is due on Sunday, July the 31st of 2022. I will not accept any late submissions. Okay, so make sure that both the group project, one submission per group, as well as the self and peer evaluation, every student needs to upload those two things by the established deadlines. I will not accept late assignments. Okay, so these are the requirements. If you have any questions, concerns, anything of that nature, please let me know and I will be more than glad to respond as soon as possible. So the instructions are there. Those are the requirements, and once again I've included the grading rubric of how I will be grading each of the different components. Okay, so make sure that you identify and for example, I've had students, Miss, why did you deduct points? Well, the requirements state that the presentation needs to be 13 to 15 slides of content. You only included 10 slides. You didn't meet the requirement. Okay, your title slide does not include the name of your group members. Okay, I am not a mind reader. Okay, so that is why you got points penalized. Okay, your reference list was not organized in alphabetical order. Your citations were not properly cited. Okay, your slides and your notes did not have any references included. Okay, that's plagiarism. That is why you got points deducted. Make sure that you read each of the items. Okay, I'm providing you all of this. Read and make sure that you understand what am I expecting from you so you can earn as many points as possible. Okay, so that is the requirements, the grading rubric. Week number 7, you're going to begin working on the project. Week number 8, you're going to submit the project. This is where you're actually going to submit the project. Okay, if you open the folder up, you have the assignment for the group project. This is where one submission per group. Okay, and then this is where you're going to upload your final PowerPoint presentation that has been reviewed and approved by all of the group members. Okay, one submission per group, one project submission per group. Okay, please review the Safe Assign report when you upload You should get a safe assign report. If the PowerPoint presentation is not working, then copy all of your notes into a Word document and upload the Word document to make sure that you have less than a 20% match on your safe assign originality report. It basically shows you if the information has been copied from another source. Okay, you should not have a big match. You should paraphrase the information. Even if you're using it from a source, I don't want you using all quotations and just copying and pasting. You need to put the information into your own words, okay? And still cite the source, okay? So once your presentation is compiled, you upload it here for grading. And then you also have the self and peer evaluation for group project number 2. You upload, you download the file that I have here. You download it. Use fill out all of the information in the self and peer evaluation. It's loading. Here we go. You enable editing. You put your student's name at the very top. That way I know who is submitting the self and peer evaluation. Right here, you're going to enter the name of the students right here. Your group, each of the names are going to be in the very top. And then you rate each of the group member based on the different categories. And you're going to issue them a 3 for all or most of the time, a 2 for sometimes or occasionally, a 1 for rarely, and a 0 for never. And then you're going to give me a total for each of the students, okay? And then if you have any additional comments, you can include them here. You're going to save it, and then you're going to upload it into Blackboard for grading, okay? You're going to upload the file here. Make sure that you save it, and then you upload it, okay? So week 7 and week 8, you're going to be working on the group project, okay? Review all of the information that I have provided in both weeks. Do not procrastinate. Week 7, as soon as I give you the group list of who's going to be in your group, send them a Blackboard message, a Pronto message, or whatever. That way you can get a hold of your group members and you all can figure out how are we going to communicate and what are each of us going to be working on and when are we going to submit our part, when are we going to review the presentation, who's going to put it together. We need to review the audio for each of the slides. Check for citations. Make sure that we have the correct word count for each of the notes section. So many things should be done that need to be done on a group. Everybody needs to agree on the final submission. Do a review. Make sure all of the requirements are met because I will be grading based on a whole project, not on sections of the presentation. Okay? So that is basically it. Just a quick overview of the group project. Remember, group project number 2, which deals with International Financial Reporting Standards and U.S. Gaap, will be due on Sunday, July the 31st at 11 p.m. Okay? So that is basically it for this second group project lecture. Please make sure that you reach out to me if you have questions or concerns. And until next time, have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.